Okay, you guys, thank you so much for making it on time. We appreciate all of you rock stars being here, prompt, excited to get some good information to help you, assist you in one of the most important quadrants of our four quadrants of Planet Beach marketing and prospecting, internal. This is probably going to be the number one highest lead generator quadrant that you're going to have in your spas. All of the top spas can vouch for that. We do have some testimonials from some top spas throughout this presentation that you're going to see for yourself. And hopefully what we can do at the end of this webinar is feel confident and 100% towards actually booking more red appointments before the end of today and into tomorrow based on what's already existing in your four walls. So what I did was I went ahead and I muted everybody so that way we can avoid any background noise. This webinar is being recorded, so just so that you feel as if you have to get off the call early, maybe it's going a little longer than scheduled, or if in general somebody in your spa wasn't able to make it that you wanted to attend, we will be posting this to the Facebook page and sending this out, and as well as posting it to the company announcements page of Orion. So you will be able to have access to this without any question later on if you need to rewatch it. We highly recommend that you always rewatch these webinars. It's good to play at meetings, at trainings, if you want to test your staff, if you want to just keep them refreshed at all times. There's so many different ways to generate leads within this company that sometimes it's easy to sort of say, hey, I used to do this all the time and I just forgot. So it does help when it comes to just sort of giving yourselves refreshers. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure people are going to join in over the next couple of minutes that are a few minutes behind. I know a lot of you are in the spas. So moving into internal marketing and prospecting. Now, if you've attended any of my specific webinars, you know I'm a big fan of write this down, because when you ink it, you think it, right? And so there's something that I wanted to be sure that we understood off the bat, that many of you who are just joining us, who are new to the company, we welcome you. I did see Alex from Uptown Dallas did say and make mention that you were new and you were excited to grow with the company. Let me go ahead. I see that there's a hand raised. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can answer that question here for you. No, I don't see any questions. Maybe that was just a little glitch. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to know the difference first and foremost of what the difference is in marketing and in prospecting. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Robbie's asked if I'm talking. Yes, of course I'm talking. I'm always talking. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But write this down because it's very important for you to know if you're new or if you just basically don't know the big difference. Marketing and prospecting are two completely different things. What we want, obviously, between the two, marketing is basically brand awareness. It's you don't really control the outcome, but you're putting the Planet Beach name out there, whether it's you're sponsoring another organization, club, if you just want to put your logo on things, it's putting your name out there. And, if for whatever reason you don't have a name number or email address of somebody out there that you didn't get to physically prospect yourself, you're putting Planet Beach out there just so that they can at some point stop in and be what will ultimately turn into a walk-in. Marketing tactics and efforts usually resort in walk-in traffic that you sell to and sell them something to. Prospecting, on the other hand, you control the outcome of that. That's whenever you actually allocate names, phone numbers, and email addresses. And obviously what we like to do and what our main focus is prospecting. We want to control what happens with our spas. We want to take charge of the day. And a lot of you see the motivational quotes on the Facebook group. You hear it on the Monday motivation calls. We want to be in control of our own success. We don't want to rely on other people coming into the spas and hoping, that somebody will show up and just be curious about prices. So that's something that you want to make sure that you communicate without any question at all to your staff, and make sure that they all understand the difference in that. When you send someone out prospecting, It's not prospecting if you're giving them $50 gift certificates and maybe some guest passes to go and hand out. That's not prospecting, that's marketing. And you won't receive and you won't have that success in booking your red appointments. All you'll do there is just burn out a bunch of staff members that'll quit you. You have to be sure that you set clear expectations and say, we want to prospect. By you pounding the pavement today, for example, if we were external marketing, by you doing this, my expectations are you don't come back into this door unless you have 50 names, numbers, and email addresses if you can get those. That is prospecting. You have to have something in hand. So just wanted to clarify that. And just a little quick question for you guys to just ask yourselves as the leaders of your spa or even as your own executives. I like to think that if you are a good manager and a good leader into one, your team, your consultants, if they're asked what their job duties are, what their real titles and positions are, they should feel like executives, their own executives, and because they control their own paychecks. So for those of you who are on this call that might be consultants or even phone consultants, because you're in charge of booking and confirming and rescheduling any canceled or no-show red appointments, you are executives. So it's important for you to know what is the easiest prospect to close. There's so many different prospects that we get based on external and internal marketing and prospecting that we do. Some are basic, a walk-in, that is marketing usually. Advertisement, daily deal, which is Groupon, Living Social, Amazon Local, everything that is Smart Circle, Valpak, things to that nature. 1 week passes, referrals, which we like to call on the sales floor when we're talking to the members. We don't like to say the word referrals. Keep in mind, write that down if you don't know that. That is a negative power word because that is a sales word. And usually people shut down to that word referral. So we like to say recommendation to our consumers, but internally we say referrals or the internet. So what do you guys think is the easiest of all of these listed in here in front of you on the computer? Well, the easiest is obviously the referral, the recommendation. It's working smarter and not harder. There's a WIFM, and if you don't know what a WIFM is because you might be new, what's in it for me? That is something that we use frequently in Planet Beach training. The WIFM for the member, there's plenty of WIFMs for the member, but the number one WIFM is they're paying their dues every single month. When you're incentivizing them to provide referrals and recommendations to come in, try out the spa, give you that opportunity to make them a member, well, obviously you're paying their, quote unquote, you're paying their member dues, which ultimately you're just waiving their next month's dues if they get one person. And you know the ambassador program. I don't have to go into that in detail. Maybe I will a little bit later, but that's their WIFM. If I know I don't have to pay for something, all just due to the fact that I can get my friends or my mom or my aunt or my cousins to sign up at a place I love going to, I could save some money. I'm definitely going to be out there selling it for you. So by the time a referral actually walks in the door, if you have actually done what the real job is to do when it comes to getting referrals, which is selling the member, not the new person, if you sell the member on what the WIFM is, by the time that referral walks in the door, your job becomes instantly 60% easier. You will close that person much faster than a walk-in. You won't have as many objections to overcome because guess what? That member who referred or recommended this person, at the end of the day, could have said, look, if anything, could you just go ahead and get that membership? It's only $59 a month. You know, I just lost my job and I really don't want to have to cancel my membership over there. Just help me out here. You don't know the conversations that they're having out there like that. So they're pretty much already sold by the time they come in. And this is so important for many of you to know because there have been conversations, and I know just based on some conversations I've had with a couple of franchisees or spa directors, it's challenging usually when the question comes up of ambassador, do you push it daily? Well, no, we haven't seen much, positive results come out of that. It hasn't been very successful for us. And if you've ever taken any previous webinar training, you know that at the end of the day, it's not really what you're offering, it's how you're offering it. It's your approach to the conversation. There was clearly not in that consumer or in that member's mind, there was not enough WIFM there. There wasn't enough value to them because maybe they just didn't hear you because your approach was just a little bit not based on how they absorb that information. So it's super important and it's key to pay attention to those things. But the real referrals or recommendation success lies behind not selling or consulting that referral. The sales part of getting a new member out of a referral is it lies in the member. You need to sell that member on their value, what their WIFM is, and that in turn will make your job much, much easier. Here's some Planet Beach facts that I wanted to share with you guys here. We're in the red appointment industry. Now, over the years, if you've been here a while, or maybe you've not been here at all, maybe you're brand new, and this is some information for you to take in. Over the years, we have been in the same industry, just a little bit different as we've evolved into a spray and spa. We've been in the consulting industry, we've been in the customer service industry, customer experience industry. We're in all of those because it all lies within our business model and it's important for the success of our spas. However, now that we're moving into a time that we are battling the digital age and consulting and face-to-face and actual communication over the phone or in person is becoming less popular, it's important that we understand and we get our staff to understand that we are now in the red appointment industry. Every employee who sells or who is in charge of being on the phones must promote and prospect. That is their number one job duty. And with that said, that is another little piece of information or tip that I'd love to be able to provide to you. If you can sit back right now, look at your staff and know you have that 1, 2, 3 people, maybe your entire staff, who tells you they're not comfortable with getting on a phone, they're not comfortable with approaching somebody and prospecting because they feel awkward, they don't know, they're introverts maybe. That is your number one red flag. You can attempt to train them into becoming comfortable by building their confidence, by showing them how easy it is yourself and letting them train on that to where they get confident enough. But at the end of the day, that is aptitude. It's attitude and aptitude there. So that's not going to be very beneficial when it comes to trying to train whenever it's somebody's personality trait. That's very, very difficult, and you cannot train on personality. You can't train on how to have one or how to approach a conversation or be personable. That's never going to be able to work out for you. You're just going to overwork yourselves, and that's important to make sure that you don't do that by any means necessary. Members don't fall into your lap. This is a business that you have to bring people into in order to sell. If right now what you're doing is going through your opening duties, you're turning the lights on, turning the services on, warming up the equipment, opening the register, and then you just sit there, or your staff member just sits there and just sort of waits for opportunities, then it's going to be a very quick lifeline. Your business will be. It's not going to last very long, and it's important to know that you don't open up a business with all of these members and a net EFT. That'll never happen, so it's important for you to communicate that too. If you live by the door, you will die by the door. That's basically the same thing in a nutshell. You're selling the value to these members or these consumers whenever you're trying to go out there and get names and numbers. Be sure that you understand that. Eileen is our target demographic, yes. Many of you have Eileen's mom's type of demographic. Many of you have her younger sisters in your area, the college students. But with Eileen being our number one consumer who spends the most money across the board in our spas, she is the one trying to pull off looking like she spent $1 million on beautifying herself when actually only paying just a few bucks. That's what to remember in every prospecting and marketing pitch. If I'm at a promotion, if I'm internally approaching an ambassador conversation, or if I'm doing an enter to win internally, whatever it is that I'm doing to try and get this person to give me names and numbers and email addresses if possible, I need to remember that in the back of my mind. I am trying to showcase not just products and services, because they can get that information online, on the website, on the app. They can get that from other members, can explain that to them. That could be at the time that you actually tour them and give them the pitch. We're trying to rope people in because we need to spark that attention to get them to listen first. So you need to take it a step at a time and remember these people have no idea what a red light is. They have no clue what a hot box detox is. Many people giggle at first when you say that word. They have no clue what that is. And starting off saying, hi, have you heard about Planet Beach? And then no. To me and to other consumers who are Eileen's, what is that telling you? you're selling me something, I came here to just shop, or you're selling me something, I came here just to spray and go because I have a thing tonight, you're bothering me, leave me alone. And nothing that consultant's going to say thereafter is going to be absorbed because they've already shut down. So you could tell them all kind of great whiffums, but if they've shut you down and they've put that wall up, it's not going through. It's not getting through and being absorbed properly. What do you and your team think a red appointment is? If you attended the Money Motivation call, you've gotten the brief training on what an actual red appointment is. It's not a thing, guys. It is a measurement. A measurement, it's not an expectation. Of course, again, 12 red appointments, if you book that, you confirm it, they all show, that's a great day. That is like, you better email us at Spy Performance and let us know, and we will give you huge shout outs and send out emails and congratulate you, because that's awesome. And that means that you guys are, putting forth 100% of your efforts into bringing in new members. But a red appointment is not an actual thing. It is just an expectation to measure what you are doing to prospect and promote your business or the business that you work in. It's a number that we want to put in place because of the ratio that we're going to go through. And it's a starting point for you to exceed what your true goal is. The real goal is to get new members, because the Super Bowl goal is to increase your net EFT. We need that draft to be as high as possible come the first whenever we run that, because that is the lifeline, and that is a guarantee that you'll continue getting paychecks. That's the guarantee that you'll continue being into business the more members you allocate and retain. So with that said, the red appointments of 12 and expecting 12 of those a day, and keep in mind, that's minimum. If you can get 15 to 20, hey, we won't stop you. However, that's going to guarantee you at least 2 to 3 new members if you can book that per day. So keep that in mind and make sure that you pass that along to your staff and anybody who is in charge and required. Not a goal. Remember, red appointments are required. It should not be talked about as being a goal. They need to understand that. So before moving into all of the great ideas, the tactics, the testimonials, what is internal marketing, what can you do to internally market, mainly it's the ambassador program because it's referrals, we need to talk about staff. That's very important. Now, this isn't going to become a staffing webinar because you guys would be logging into that right now. You've probably taken a staffing webinar. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on talking about staff. But just keep in mind that in order to win the Super Bowl, you need to have a team of MVPs first. You won't win unless you have a team full of everybody who is on the same page, on the same level of talent, and even just one who is not on that same level is a poison that could eventually branch out and spread any type of, not necessarily negativity, but negative habits, or maybe excuse giving, or maybe, anything at all that could potentially rub off on your Eagles and bring their productivity and their talent down. So keep that in mind. Staff is the key to your success across the board in any business, but especially in the red appointment industry like we're in now. But that leads me to your staff of management. If you are a manager, or if you have an ASD underneath you that helps you co-manage, if you're a franchisee who is the manager, whoever the person is in charge of seeing to it that 12 red appointments at minimum are happening per day, there needs to be an accountability process in place for this person, because it's so simple to get caught up in all of the things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. I remember this struggle. I got to worry about cancellations. I have to worry about collections today. This service went down. I have to redo the schedule because this person quit on me yesterday. So many things come across a spa director's plate, or the person in charge of growth of your spa, that it's so easy to slip with the daily accountability protocol. With no accountability processes, even just one day, you're allowing the person in charge, even if you yourself on this call are the person in charge, you know how easy it is to fall complacent. I do it, at times. Sometimes when I say I'll get to my dishes tomorrow, I didn't really get a bunch of dirty dishes because I had takeout the other day. So you know what? It's okay if I just sit down and watch Netflix tonight. I'll get it tomorrow. But without somebody staying on me going, no, do this, do the dishes, take out, staying on top of me, I'm going to allow that to happen. So it's not a negative trait. It's just somebody needs to be that person that stays on top of every single day, hour by the hour, day by day, on accountability to these 12 red appointments. If you're finding that some days you have great days and then others you don't, Think about those days. Were you on them? Were you calling them? Were you saying, where's my text message? Were you asking, what's the deal? You only have 3 reds. Where's my other, 10, 11 reds that I told you that we have to have each day? Those are probably what's happening in the spas. So accountability, guys, that's key. And that's got to happen not daily, but hourly. It's got to be your obsession. Almost as if I want to say, set reminders on your phones to follow up with the people in your spa if you're the spa director and they have to get reds and you're on vacation, or you're the franchisee. Set reminders every hour to check in on Spa Central, or if you have TeamViewer, log in remotely and see what they're doing on Spa Intel. Are they doing something on the internet that is going to be beneficial to getting you the guest traffic that you need? But it's important that accountability processes have to be in place. If not, you're held hostage to what other people are doing. And they're not financially and emotionally invested into your success the way you guys are. Spa directors, you have bonuses. You have money on the line here when it comes to that draft. It can determine if your paychecks are, huge or barely getting by and you're noticing that you're only getting your base pay. It can determine that success. And franchisees, business owners, the people that are in charge of this, that have the success held into their hands, they're not emotionally or financially invested into your success. So without that accountability every single hour, every single day, it ain't gonna happen. That's what the point here is. Accountability is a management tactic. We all know the difference between management and leadership. One's good cop, bad cop. One's proactive, one's reactive. If I'm managing too much, it's because I'm not leading enough. So if I'm noticing a trend in that means I need to be more motivational and lead by example, and vice versa. But accountability specifically, that is a management tactic, not a leadership tactic. And it must happen when it comes to marketing and prospecting, because you can set revenue goals all day long. Oh, we got to sell X amount of dollars in retail, X amount of dollars in membership cash. We need to sell this and that. To who? Tell me to who? Because if you're worrying about hitting your retail and your membership cash goal, that's amazing. That needs to be your focus. New members, we need new members. How are we going to do that unless you're paying just as much attention, if not more focus, on their requirements, not goals, for their marketing and prospecting? I need 12 today. You're working 4 hours. You're responsible for 40% of today's in the bank goal, which means for the red requirements of the 12 that we need spa-wide for the day, you have to bring in 4. I see you have 1. Here are some ideas. How can I help you? Do you want me to cover the floor while you go in the back and make calls? Whatever that needs to be. Over retail, memcash, anything. You can help them out with that if they don't hit that goal at the end of the day with sales. They need to be the ones that get the people in the door to do that too. So that is huge. That needs to be moved to the top of your priority list if it's not there already. If you know right now you do not have a staff that'll collectively book these 12 red appointments minimum per day, please waste no more time on this training. Go back, go into the Staffing Your Eagles training webinar, and then start your process over. If your staff isn't prospecting, it's because they won't, not because they can't. And it's easy to, once you hear the same thing over and over, which is why you guys who've been on my webinars know I'm a repetitor. I'm repetitive with a lot of things that I say, because I know if I say it enough, you'll wake up and you'll hear it in your sleep. I say it so much. I don't mind being annoying because it's for positive purposes. But it's only because they're telling you that they can't so much. If you start saying, it's this, it's that, it's my market, it's the weather, it's so many other entities and so many other things. Sometimes it could take a perfectly good eagle who's driven and productive, enough of hearing that people can't do something based on every other element except for themselves, which is the true element. It'll rub off and you'll find yourself starting to mimic it and be a parrot and repeat that. And you could have started your day off saying, we got this, I can do this, it's not hard, there's a red around every corner, I just need to take the opportunity to pay attention and take it. And then later on in the afternoon, you know what, people just aren't responding to this doesn't work. That is your staff saying they can't. It's not that they can't, it's that they won't. So that's something to keep in mind and write down yourselves. Unless there is a manager sticking to accountability hour by hour, you are in business to throw your money away, not to make any. Food for thought there, folks. So, with all that said, what are the best and most effective and easiest? I'm giving you something right now that's going to make your job easy, so I hope you're paying attention. What's the best, most effective, and easiest prospecting and marketing accountability methods that we have out there? The Daily Accountability Protocol, which is now available in Management folder in Orion for Spa Performance, and the all-new, which you saw recently, Go Paperless folder in Orion. That contains the daily prospecting checklists and the lead tracking logs that they're supposed to be doing. There's a tutorial on how to go through this and use this every day. If these two things have not become a part of your daily routine, make it a point and write it down to start this immediately. If you can do it by today, that's even better, but start it off tomorrow and make sure everybody knows a part of your daily activity is going to be to utilize this daily prospecting checklist and lead tracking log. Just so you see screenshots on what it might look like for you franchisees out there or spa directors out there trying to turn that spa around or get it started, kicked it off the ground, anything. This is your daily accountability protocol, what it looks like every day, text message updates, end of the night recap email along with the dashboard that you send. And this is what the daily prospecting checklist and tracking log looks like. This should be something spa directors or franchisees take a look at daily. Consultants are to know when they clock in after you do your pre-shift consultation. Here are your goals today. This is how you can hit them. How can I help you? You move into, they should be going like routine right after that discussion is happening and they throw their smocks on. Get on that computer, pull up their individual, because they should have folders of this, and the tutorial will explain that to you. They should go through this because literally, if they know every single checkbox on this sheet, on this first page is checked, and they follow what you see at the very bottom there, the lead tracking log, by plugging in the leads they're getting from doing each and every single one of these tasks on this checklist, your 12 red appointments, and this is a guarantee, will happen. You just need to hold them accountable and make sure there is accountability measurements in place to make sure if somebody clocks in and even just one of these boxes are not checked off, you're following up with a disciplinary action approach, whether that be a verbal warning to try and help them figure out what can I do to make sure that this doesn't happen again, or whether it's a first, second, third strike offense. But make sure that something like this is in place, and they need to be doing this habitually every single day. Now let's move into the fun stuff, the internal marketing and prospecting. A few things to keep in mind as a franchisee and as a leader of the spa. It doesn't require your staff to leave the spa to book a red appointment at all. If you're one of the spas that have one person per shift, which many of you are, and you feel as if it's a challenge to be able to get red appointments, because how am I supposed to send anybody out there to get anything? They can't leave the store because they have to man the store. I don't have the money to be able to have any more people staffed right now. It's super, super slow. Well, that's because there's no guest traffic, and because internal marketing isn't happening in the spa, you're not able to book red appointments. Spas don't come equipped with members. You must create them and get your existing members to spread great testimonials about you. If customer service is the least of your worries and you're a location that doesn't stay really on top of your online reviews, guys, internal marketing won't work for you. It's important because many people, and you'd be surprised on the statistic on this, and I wish I would have been able to pull that up for you and have that for you. So many people, I could tell you from my personal network of friends, my age alone, my Eileen friends, before they go anywhere, they're pulling up Yelp and they're pulling up Google and they're looking for reviews. And if there's just any type of negativity on there that goes unanswered, period, they're not going to be very likely to show up. Maybe they'll show up for some free stuff, but they won't buy. So keep that in mind. And if you do have any negative reviews, keep in mind that sometimes, although it might be something out of your control, it may be something that's just never going to please this customer, if another consumer goes to look at an online review or listens to word of mouth and sees that you at least responded apologizing and saw that you made the attempt to say something back about it, that goes a lot longer of a way than you think than just ignoring it or arguing back. So that's a side note to keep in mind, but it all ties into your word of mouth. Word of mouth marketing is everything, because I know just if you pull up Facebook right now and you have Facebook, most of you do, all of you probably do, and you look through your news feed at least once a day or every other day, maybe once or twice a week, you have that friend that posts, hey guys, any good ideas on where I can buy this? And everybody, there's like 40,000 comments. No, go here. Here's a link. Use this. And people, all these salespeople come out of the woodwork like roaches. That's key. So guess what's going to happen to somebody you're talking to constantly about, you want to bring in anybody because we want to pay for your dues. We're tired of you paying. You're loyal. You've been here forever. There's got to be someone. They're going to be paying attention to that. They're going to see a Facebook post pop up on their news feed, and they're going to say, go to Planet Beach, mention my name. You'll get a free week. And, go check it out. You're going to love it. And tell them that I sent you in there and try that Hydroderma Fusion treatment. It's amazing. That's a way to get referrals. That's internal marketing to your current members. So for those of you who have heard the old trick of when people call to book red appointments, members now, when you just say, I see we have a service available at the same time, we have a few of them available, who do you want to bring in with you? Your members might get sick of hearing it. Your members might tell you, you ask me this every day, Danielle, and I tell you every single time it's just me. But guess what? That one day that you don't ask is going to be the one day that they're going to be with their best friend shopping at the mall, and they're going to totally forget and just tell their friend, hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go to Planet Beach real quick. Oh, you're not a member? Okay, well, I'm only going to be 20 minutes, and then we'll meet back up for lunch. That'll be that one day that happens to you. Remember, repetition is what creates habits. So get your staff in a habit of asking that question, regardless of how quote unquote annoyed they might seem to think that the member is feeling about asking that question. Every single time it needs to be protocol. Members booking appointments, ask them. That's a red appointment to come in on a rainy day whenever nobody's coming in and you're panicking about your goals. That's a red appointment. It's free. That's another great thing. It's free. Word of mouth marketing is free. You have spa consultants out in the field for you, basically selling for you. And what I mean by that is your members. It's like having spa consultants. It's like having a team. Your members are almost like having more staff out there. They're selling for you. You pay nothing. You don't have to pay to advertise on anything. You don't have any cost of goods associated with it. It's amazing because it's free, and it's the most efficient lead generator that we have across the board. All of our top spas will all tell you and agree it's their number one lead generator. Have them have the mindset, give me one member and I'll give you a top 10 spa. That needs to be their mindset, because that is the mindset of any top running location. Ambassador program can work in just about any situation in your spa, not just for lead generation. Here are a couple of different ways, and hopefully you're taking a look at this. If you can't write it down quick enough as I go through it, take a screenshot, take a picture with your phone, or just take a look at this webinar later. But the ambassador program is internal marketing in a nutshell, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's enter to win, whether it's win $1,000 drawing, whether it's anything. You're getting referrals and you're incentivizing your members to give you referrals with something. The ambassador program itself is dues, but it is ambassador rewards when they win anything. Basically, generation. That's the reason that you do ambassador program. But other opportunities, customers. It's okay to grant ambassador rewards to people that are not paying dues. That's an opportunity for you guys to keep in mind. Only with being a member, because we always want to incentivize people to get committed and give us that commitment of the 12 and 24 months, for customers specifically, non-members, whenever you talk about getting referrals from them, tell them you'll grant them 1 month for every 2 or 3 people, or 6 months for 5 people, whereas a member gets a year for 5 people. 12 months if they get 10 people or more, which is a lifetime for a member paying dues. And make it to where if they switch over to an EFT membership, they can get a lifetime if they get 12 members. Or their 6 months will go to a year if they just get 5. They could be very well connected in the area. And so if there's somebody who is well connected in the area because of whatever the reason might be, their job, whatever they do for hobbies, they just know a lot of people, et cetera, et cetera. This is a great opportunity to try to get the customers themselves converted, but don't hold ambassador program conversations from customers, because they can be granted that opportunity as well. Talk to everyone. It can also be used in add-ons to members' accounts. Yes, add-ons to members. So existing members, hey, if you add on your mom, it's going to be half the dues. You know the benefits of an add-on. Half the dues, nothing today. Maybe you want to charge an upgrade fee. I'm not sure, $20. It's all depending. And they have 30 days to love it or hate it. And, if they hate it for whatever reason, which we know they won't, they can cancel without any penalties involved. And for that, you can utilize ambassador program. Also, because it is somebody that is going to be added onto your membership, this is coming from you. That's a referral. So by doing this, we can pay half of your dues, because it's, only getting half of an EFT. You don't want to pay the full dues for them. So it's a good way to use in your benefit and twist it around. That's a great internal marketing opportunity. And then you know what? If you add 2 people on, or if your add-on gets a referral, then we'll pay the remaining balance of the other half of your dues for that month that you get half off. Get creative with it, folks, because that's whenever people see the value. You're selling them on the value, not on what it really is, because the contents of what you're actually promoting out there to get those leads, that sells itself. Free, anything. People love free stuff. To save a cancellation, this is an amazing tactic that many of you can take and use to your benefit, because we are so focused on retention as well. If you have somebody canceling for financial reasons and you've had the discussion about freezing them, maybe for just $5, or downgrading them, or transferring the one-time transfer opportunity to give to a friend, none of it seemed to have been effective or worked, have that discussion with them and be like, well, you've been a member with us for so long. That's why I wanted to try and see if you wanted to take advantage of some of these other options that are within your best interest. But there's this one last thing, again, you've been a member with us for so long. We hate to see you go. We love seeing you coming in here. You're so loyal. How about this? How about we have it to where you can still come in and use this, but you don't have to pay a dime? That's a great conversation starter and a great transition question to segue into the ambassador reward conversation. So save a cancellation with it. That's another opportunity to use internal prospecting. So you're saving that hit to your draft, you're saving that hit to your net EFT, as well as building towards it. So you took what realistically started off as a negative thing, was going to affect you in a negative impact and make your draft go down, and you turned it around and made it quadruple and 5 times more possible for you to grow. It's taking charge. It's taking control. So it's critical thinking skill that you need to keep in mind. Overcoming an objection, financial, kind of ties into number 2 and a little bit into number 4 too. I don't have the money. I can't afford this. I don't have a steady job. I just waitress when I can. I'm a student, this or that. Okay, well, how about this? How about we get you set up with a membership and you don't pay anything? Here's what we need to do. Here's all we need from you. And that sort of makes them almost work for you. You're turning a person that becomes a member, turning them into a promotional person that's out there in the field saying, look, guys, go in here, get this membership. It's awesome. I love it. They're selling it themselves, and people are coming in saying, I want to get that membership that such and such requested. So you're taking something that was originally a tour that you had with another maybe referral or a walk-in, whatever they were. They gave you objections. They physically just couldn't. It wasn't that they didn't see value. They genuinely didn't have money. Turn them into an ambassador, a brand ambassador for you, and tell them they don't have to pay for it as long as they bring members to you. Enter to Win campaigns, guys, is probably the number 1 tool that our top spas use to get their referrals, which is our number 1 lead generator for our top spas. Enter to Win campaigns. There is a manual available on Orion. I highly suggest that you go dig in there and pull that up under advertising and marketing and different prospecting guidelines. There's a folder in there for Enter to Win, and watch it or read through it and take the materials from that, because everybody wants to win stuff. Everybody wants something free. We talked about that with things with verbiage that say something like enter X amount of names and numbers gives you X amount of entries to win whatever you're raffling off. $1,000 drawing. Maybe it's a product bundle. Maybe it's a membership. Maybe you got with your B2Bs to get a bunch of different things to put together collectively to have one big giveaway. Whatever the case might be, Enter to Win is huge. So we're talking about internal prospecting and marketing and getting people to give us their phone numbers and email addresses of their network of people, friends, family members, you name it, coworkers, anybody. We'll take a referral from anyone, right? But it's important for us to know before we implement any type of process to our staff that the staff understands people behaviors. It's important. If they can't read a person, they're probably not in the best position in your spa, and it's probably best that you just call them when you need a service cleaner or a room attendant. Because if you can't read people, you definitely cannot sell. To know when you're being too forceful, too pushy, maybe you sound too gimmicky. It's important for you to know that and have that skill set. But before you pass down any processes or procedures on ambassadors, referrals, they have to know people behaviors. To be effective in internal prospecting, you must remove yourself. This is important, and I hope you're paying attention. You must remove yourself from the Planet Beach sales mode. Take off your Planet Beach cap. You are not an employee. Trust that it shows in your approach to that member. Trust me, that shows. If I'm going to you and I'm talking to you about Planet Beach and I have this goal of trying to get something out of you, you're going to be pushy to me. I don't want, no, you're being pushy. That's when you start to see those reviews online. Don't go to this business or don't go to this location. It's a trap. This is just to get you in the door. This is not actually free. They're going to harass you to buy something. Or that's whenever you get the referrals that come in saying, I don't want to buy, I'm just here to get the free services. That means you guys are out there prospecting and promoting like you should be. However, your approach and your people behaviors and understanding to those things are incorrect, or you're misinformed on how you look or seem to the consumer. That's when you take a step back. You need to be effective in this, which means you need to know your approaches and you need to talk to people out there as if they have no idea, the same way you did before you either bought into Planet Beach or began working at Planet Beach. Maybe you were a member before you worked at the spot. I don't know. The day you learned about Planet Beach and what the services and all of the products that it has to offer was, that's how you need to put yourself into their shoes so that you understand what I'm going to say to this person, they'll understand as well, and it's not going to seem like I'm pushing them or that I'm trying to get them to buy something. I'm trying to tell them because we have an amazing business model. We got awesome services. People do love them. Your members can vouch for that, hence why we're having this entire webinar. So just remember some key facts of people behaviors and pass this down to your staff. Their perception, that is your reality. If I am perceived a certain way to a consumer, they're going to post that that's how I was, regardless if I was or wasn't. Perceptions affect thoughts, emotions, and actions. If I seem pushy, if I seem like I'm just trying to get there, I'm soliciting them or their friends, then guess what? They're not going to respond to me ever. I can have the same conversation with them in 3-4 months from now, and it'll never be heard. And that member, it's going to take 6 to 7 times harder the work to put into trying to get that member to give me their friends, families, names, numbers, and emails, because he or she has a bad taste in her mouth from the first time. So it's going to affect, that first impression of this approach is going to affect all future emotions and actions. If they perceive you as soliciting them, guess what? You are. So stop and regroup. If you've tried Ambassador, if you've tried to get referrals in the past, sit back and go, what did I do? Did I have the same staff? Who was my staff? Was it maybe me? Was I being too much like, hey, let's talk Planet Beach opportunities and free, how you can get your membership for free? Might work on some. Me, it won't. I'm running from you. Just like how I run from the fragrance counter girl that tells me to smell the newest fragrance. I don't know. I pull matrix moves in the department stores to get away from those people. So don't do it to me. So that's how your members feel. And it's important that you guys do the same thing. How would you react to people that solicit you that way? So you'll know how to turn that conversation at that time. We must stop approaching the conversations about referrals as if we were teenagers about to ask our parents for an extended curfew. What do I mean by that? If I'm not confident, if I'm not exuding in how I am expressing what the features and benefits are of the Ambassador program, and I'm not telling you, oh my God, you would be insane if you don't take advantage of this, then it's not going to work out too well. If I'm approaching you because my boss told me that I have to start getting 5 referrals a day because that's in the checklist and that's my protocol, my new accountability protocol, every day I got to do that, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not confident in it because I'm not too sure about it, and I'm just doing a task list item just to say, hey, I got to get 5 a day. My approach is going to be very different. I'm going to be scared. I'm not going to be confident. And I'm going to say, hey, Miss Mary, have you heard about our Ambassador program where if we get a member to sign up one person, then they get 1 month for free, and 5 people gets them a year, and a lifetime if you have 10. All we need to do is get people, your names and numbers and maybe some email addresses if you have those, and we're going to call them, and if they become members and sign up for a membership, we give you this for free. That's not, don't do it. Don't do it, because what's going to happen at that point is if your staff and consultants even get that far through that pitch, the member's just going to be nice and smile and go, no, not today, and just because they're friendly people, or they'll just say, I don't have time for this, I have to get back to work. And never again will you be able to get that opportunity to slow them down to talk about it, because they've already just said, no, you've talked to me about this already, and no, I'm not going to let you solicit my family and friends. KISS your consumers. For those of you who are new, KISS is an acronym, so you know how much we love acronyms here at Planet Beach. KISS means keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid for your consumers. If you're talking to a potential prospect, red appointment, and you approach somebody in the spa about red light therapy, let's say referral comes in, or no, let's just say we're out in the field. Who knows? I want to talk to you about Planet Beach. We are an automated spa and we offer red light therapy, hot box detox. I'm going through the list of all of these services and this consumer's looking at me like I have 10 heads. What is a red light therapy? I don't tan, so no. Hot box detox, what does this mean? Is that even legal? Lumiere, isn't that the character in Beauty and the Beast? What is this? But what do you think that consumer's gonna do? They're gonna say, thanks, you're sweet and you're pretty, but no, I'm busy and I have to go. This goes back to taking off that Planet Beach cap and putting on that consumer cap. If I'm going to approach somebody and I'm trying to get them in here so they try services, I'm going to say things like, we have skin enhancement and improvement services which help in aiding your existing regimen that you have for, getting rid of skin imperfections, whatever you're doing currently, that's going to expedite that. And we have services that can do that for you. We have calorie burning and weight management services, automated and customized facial services, things to that nature. That is layman terms. That sounds to me like, heck yeah, I want to do that. Where can I sign up, or where can I come try this at? So make sure in any approach and that your staff understands when you're giving them these tasks of getting referrals, getting names and numbers, doing enter to win campaigns, when people are asking you, when these referrals are coming in, it's already going to be easy enough for you to sell them because chances are they're about 60-70% sold. But in marketing and prospecting in general, it's very key and very important to you to remember, don't talk about Planet Beach the first 2 minutes you're talking to them. You're boring them. They're yawning. If they're nice people, they'll smile and say no thanks and walk away when you're done. But if you kick it off with something that maybe is a compliment. Oh my gosh, I love those shoes. You have amazing skin. I love your hair color. Your makeup looks so gorgeous. How do you do that? Or maybe not a compliment. Maybe you don't want to kick it off with a compliment because maybe you're just not at that point where you feel confident yourself to kick that off with a compliment. You can start the conversation off with, you know what, I think you look so familiar. Where, if it's in a community situation area, I've seen you somewhere before, or did you used to be a member? Getting them talking, opening up to the point where they eventually ask you, okay, what's Planet Beach, or where are you from? Getting them comfortable with you, that's key. And then going into, I'm out here because we're doing a brand awareness campaign, or, I'm approaching you because this member gave us your information, and because we are completely turning our business model around into something different. We're doing brand awareness, getting the word out there that we want to let everybody have a place to go to beautify themselves, relax, or to rejuvenate, to feel amazing. And we're giving out some free stuff for it. So come on in, come take advantage of it. If you give me your name and number, I'll go back in the spa in about an hour, shoot you a text message or give you a quick call and let you know what times I have available for you to come try some of these awesome services that'll help you look and feel amazing. That's like way better than what we're currently doing, right? Right now we're just saying, hey, Planet Beach, we do this. Have you heard about us? Would you like to do some free services? If you give us your name and number and your email address, then we'll give you a call and we'll set you up to use. I'm running a matrixing through Dillard's. I'm avoiding that fragrance counter, girl. So keep that in mind. Internal marketing continued. Here we're gonna go through some testimonials of some top spas. I know some of you top spas are on the call, and this might look familiar to you, so I went ahead and put it down here on this presentation. The proof of testimonials from the top-performing franchisees using referral marketing inside their four walls is number one priority for their success. We have Ashley Campbell, Longview, Texas. I know you see them constantly at the top of the list, leading the company as number one year-to-date for 2015. 90 to 95% of our business is referral-based. Without referrals, we do not have guests. The staff has a minimum of 6 red appointments they make per shift. That is what? With one person working on the clock for one whole day, one opening, one closing, maybe somewhere in the middle you got a room attendant cleaning these services during the peak hours. That's 12 a day. And a minimum of 2 referral sheets that have to be obtained, those VIP referral rewards cards that's available in Orion. I compensate them with $5 per red that shows up, and and that buys a membership that shows up for those Reds. $2.50 if they don't join, but they showed. We actually get referrals from people that don't join by explaining to them if we can get enough of their friends and family to join, they can get a complimentary membership as long as they keep bringing us people. We just discussed that. The only way to make it work is to provide the ultimate in customer service and pamper the client and get them results. You won't get people that'll refer people if they're constantly complaining on you, or if they constantly feel like you're not taking care of them, or maybe you don't respond to their, hey, I asked to be frozen this month. I don't know what happened there. But, if they're not feeling like they're getting that top-notch experience, they're not going to give you any referrals. So it's important that you remember that, coming from the #1 spa in our chain right now year to date. Houston Rice, another name that you've seen a million times before in our spa rankings in the top. Ted Unseth of Houston Rice, ranked currently at #3 year to date for 2015. When we started using the Ambassador program to its fullest, we greatly increased our guest traffic. We did 3 things to make it work. We offered the regular incentives of free month, free year, lifetime membership. With each referral we received from a customer or guest, we also gave them a raffle ticket for a cruise or maybe something else, but this specifically was their situation. We gave them something worth the raffle prize to be an iPad, a 3-day cruise worth about $500, so on and so forth. We noticed that these referral leads are much easier to close than leads from other types of advertising. So they noticed a difference in that. And when they solicit leads from all of the new members signing up, that keeps the guest traffic coming and coming. This type of marketing inside the 4 walls costs nothing to execute. When your traffic is increased to the point that you have had to add staff, that extra payroll is way less than the increase in sales. So that is something to consider if you're a franchisee, and it's something to keep in mind coming from a top spa. So when it comes to having to increase staff because you have guest traffic, don't be afraid to do that. Moving forward, we have Heather Carpenter, who is from our Happy Valley location, who, mind you, was a franchisee of the year at one of the conventions. She was mentioning, and she's also currently ranked at #5, Happy Valley, Arizona. Ambassador referrals built our business. The Ambassador referrals are your easiest sale. Your members are already selling Planet Beach to the referrals before they walk in the door, like we discussed. Anyone that is on the sales floor needs to be using the referral process with our existing members. And after they sign them up, their new member on the 3rd or 4th visit, maybe they don't do it right away, they're getting the referrals. Not only will you be gaining new members with this process, but you'll be making your current members super glue members instead of Velcro members. It's proven when members have friends or family members that they have referred to also become members, they are less likely to cancel their membership. So guys, this ties into retention as well when you do internal prospecting and marketing with this Ambassador program. We track our guests on the tracking form, which this was something done paper-wise on the tracking binders from the day, now converted into that lead tracking log that we just talked about in daily prospecting checklist. They were tracking them every single day. The spa directors are held accountable to getting a minimum of 40 referrals per month. That is an accountability. We talked about that at the beginning. Everyone in the sales floor required to carry Ambassador cards in their, at the time, aprons for existing members as well. Reminding the current members of the referral rewards. If you constantly have staff that's constantly in their ears, reminding them, pushing them, you had 2, let's bank those 2 months. Don't use them right away because all we need are 3 more and we can get you that year. If you use these now, you'll have to start all over towards that year. Let's get that going. That's how the staff mindset needs to be. You just need to have a plan in place and execute. The referral program will build your business and you cannot be successful without it. We have Brent Merrick from our Briar Creek location, ranked at #8 year to date, who is somebody who is very, very frugal, very savvy on keeping the mind on cost of goods, great business-minded person, and an amazing franchisee, him and his wife. Getting someone new into a spot is hard work. You guys are all on this call as proof of that. It costs a lot of money to market and advertise. So referrals, they're the easiest way to get people to trust what their friends are doing and family members are saying. That's the easiest way to get somebody in. They're trusting people already who are giving them that recommendation. So why not? It's cheap/free, and you don't need anything except training. That's it. Our members love handing out referrals as they like helping us out. They also want to get free months. Who doesn't? We have the referral cards in all of our stores, the reward sheet I was talking about, and I'd estimate that it's responsible for about 50% of the red appointments currently that they're booking. It's also a much higher closing percentage as they already know someone who's a member. Again, they're trusting these people. It's emotional sales. And this, I think, is so key because I'm so glad that I found this and stumbled across this, because he was stated in his testimonial here at Briar Creek, their longest chain so far were 8 levels. What we mean by that, yep, we signed someone up who referred someone else, who referred someone else, and so on and so forth until they got through 8 levels of referrals equaling 20 memberships from one specific member to talk about referrals with. So, and that, guys, can keep going and going, because remember, getting them in the mindset of give me one member and I'll give you a top 10 spa. That's the same exact process and protocol. If I did not have $1 to put towards marketing budget, I have my internal members, and I'm going to make sure that they're the happiest members in the world, that they love me to death. So that way, every time I need something from them, they'll help. That's sort of the mindset you want to keep in mind. Do you want results like these franchisees have had? The first thing you must do is turn your staff into referral marketing warriors. It's priority number 1 and your number 1 focus after delivering excellent customer service to your members. Here are the 3 principles you must remember, and you hope you're paying attention because this is important. Make it easy to join. Remember the past webinars that you guys have taken, and if not, it's in management training, approach training. It's all over those webinars we've had previously, and a couple of months ago we had them. Making it easy to join means tell your spa consultants they're not just spa consultants, and let them know that they are situation or scenario consultants. And what I mean by that is, if I'm trying to get you who is coming to my door based on a referral, if I want you to become a member with me today and you give me objections, I stop worrying about making that sale and I start trying to give that potential new member solutions to their problems. An objection is a problem for you, not the member. So I'm going to then sit back, regroup, and say, I'm going to be a life coach, basically. Oh, I can't join because I don't, that's a lot of money a month to be putting into this. And, I was originally just coming into, oh, okay, well, no worries. Actually, let's go through your situation now based on what you told me. I'm going to go through and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make it easy for them. I'm going to tell them I'm going to remove anxiety. I'm going to say, let's go through what the value is here. I'm going to say a million different things to give them a solution. I have some training that is on the sales process that you can get for that. So be sure you take that, because I don't want to go into details on the sales process training here, but give them a solution. Break up the payments if it's too much up front, but they can afford it every month. But make it easy for them, because they're expecting you to be pushy and obnoxious at that point. Don't be. Surprise them. Back away and make it easy for them to join. Remove their fear by body language. Oh, Miss Mary, no, actually, you know what? Because we're an organization that is driven towards having members, and we have loyal members that come back to us time and time again, we love working individually, one-on-one with every specific situation. We can work with you on that. That's no big deal. I definitely don't want these reasons to be a reason you don't become a member with us and start loving these services right away. The Easy EFT, Easy Pay plan, usually that's the number 1 that everybody wants to go to because it's a guarantee on money each month. Talk about the value in that, because each spa service is at $39 a month. Adding that up is a lot. $59 can get me what? I can get how much? And I can transfer this if I move, or I could freeze it if something happens or I'm not using it. Oh yeah, sign me up. You're going to get people in the door and you're going to get them excited to become members based on the value of what you're offering that could save them money, not on the services, not on the products. That sells itself in time, and if they're using it and you're staying on top of making sure they use it, they're going to stay. It's going to sell itself. It's your job to sell the value in it. Excellent customer service. We talked about this. Superior service is going to have them saying good things about you, positive word of mouth, delivering exceptional customer service. You must get them results, consulting the goals. If they're not coming in, they're going to cancel on you. They're not going to refer people because they'll say, I was a member there. They have these things, but I didn't really lose weight on it. Or I didn't really notice the difference. Well, that's because you weren't using the services and nobody was really on that to follow up and follow through with you at least once a week the first 8 weeks and once a month thereafter. Make it fun. This is so important for you guys. Excitement sells, and we've talked about this when it came to people behaviors. But if I'm telling you, oh my gosh, we need to get you set up on this because this is our lowest rates ever. This membership here, this gold membership, this is valued at $79 a month, $89 a month in some markets. Right now, we have it at an all-time low of $59, and that's unlimited use, and you could freeze it, and you could do all kinds of things. You get guest privileges with that. You get birthday parties with that. You get all sorts of fun stuff. So let's go ahead and just get you set up on it now. And you got 30 days to decide if you want to, love it or hate it. We know you'll love it, but I don't want you to miss out on this because we're constantly, the price points are constantly changing. We want to make sure that you get the best possible price for the best deal ever. You're going to love it here. Make it fun. That's exciting to me. That's going to make me want it. But if you're just talking to me and going through a script, I could tell. So make it fun, make it exciting, make the promotions fun as well. Contests for the giveaways. Yeah, we're raffling this and we're raffling that. All you need to do is go through your phone. Here's the little tip I'll give you about internal marketing here, and hopefully you'll write this down. When you're approaching an ambassador conversation internally, whether you're trying to get people to enter to win by putting names and numbers in, or whether you're just having a basic overall discussion about referrals, what you want to do is keep real life testimonials involved. Say, most of our members that blah, 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 and follow in with your script. And what do I mean by that is sort of say, if you're putting out there that most of the other members are doing it, then it's not something that they feel singled out or targeted for, or you feel like, what's going on here? That removes the anxiety of that member who are potentially those millennial age members that hide behind a phone, or they text versus call, or they'll email versus answer the phone, and things to that nature. What you're doing out there is saying, hey, listen, you've been paying X amount of dollars per month now. You actually are eligible for our upgrade or our ambassador or rewards program. What that basically means is we want to give you endless amounts of 1 week free to hand out to anybody that you want as a gift. Maybe right now would be a great time to do it because the holidays are around the corner. A week membership is valued at however much money it is valued at. Because you've been a member with us and you qualify, you get to how many do you want? How many 1 week vouchers do you want to hand out? What we can do I'll give you these vouchers, but most of our members that are eligible, that take advantage of this, ultimately in turn get that higher tier, which means we in turn start paying for your membership for you to come in here and keep doing what you're doing, but you essentially don't have to pay anything for it. And all that would entail is if you just go ahead and turn in names and phone numbers of who you want to give these gifts to, we can actually book them on an appointment to come in. You can come in with them. You guys can come in together. If they eventually become a member the same way you did, we start paying for your membership. And judging on how many people depends on how many months we pay for it for. So what most of our members do, and they found to be the most beneficial for them in this situation, is, the member right before you, she said, here's my cell phone. I'm going to go hydrate when I come out. Hopefully you got everybody in my contact book because I want a lifetime. I don't ever want to pay for this again. That's a great way to make it fun, make it exciting, and make them feel like it's not soliciting, it's not a sales tactic, that they actually have been eligible and they now fall into eligibility to be able to get their membership completely for free and to give away weeks memberships to as many people as they want. People will take advantage of that. It's just the people behavior knowledge, and you have to have your staff understand and know how to do that and manipulate the conversation that way. Remember that loyal customers equal referrals. Referrals equal retention and consistent long-term membership value. Valuing your members will keep getting you internal referrals on and on and on and on and on. It costs substantially more to win a new customer than to keep a current one as well. So many of you are doing great, and I want to give you all a huge, huge shout out because you are the rock stars on this call because you're trying to better your red appointment statistics. So I know that you have contributed to this specifically. I don't know if you guys were aware of this or not, but I mentioned it on the Monday Motivation call. Our September to October red appointments were nearly 4 times higher month over month. October brought in so many more Red appointments. I cannot believe the difference in statistics for Red appointments booked. That's amazing. And you guys continue to grow and you continue to be rock stars. And in turn, many of you are starting to see results from that. So I wanted to make mention all of that hard work you guys are putting in. Where I'm going with this is if you put just as much hard work into setting time aside on focusing the retention and the loyalty of your customers that you do have coming in, make it a point to keep it and incorporate it in your daily activities to say, the members that we signed up yesterday, we didn't just say thanks for your money, toss them aside, on to the next. We have to be sure that we remember that keeping the loyal customers are going to be between 50 and 90% of what those new people coming in are generated from, or those loyal people. So don't toss them aside. Make sure the retention and the focus is there on your loyal members that have come in over and over and over again, keeping them. The longer a business keeps a customer, the more profitable the customer is for the business. As a customer's lifetime value grows, the more dependent they become on the company and less susceptible they are to other companies' offers of lower prices. It's like the age-old saying, the members or customers of your business might not love you if you offer poor customer service, and they might opposite, hate you actually. But guess what? Guess who will love you? Your competitors. Because they're all going to go to the nearby locations around you that offer similar to the same services, and they're going to take their money happily. So they'll want you to keep giving that poor customer service. So keep that in mind. All of these efforts have got to be tied into one another, and if that experience and service is not there, if you don't work with people, make it fun, make it easy for people to become and stay members, then none of this will tie into the other, be beneficial for you. So please keep that in mind. As customers become more loyal, they can become advocates for the business, encouraging friends and acquaintances to also buy from the business. Long-term loyal customers provide more referrals by over 64% than short-term customers. We mentioned beforehand, don't exclude customers, the paid in fulls, the 1 month, 3 month, the 10 sessions. I only buy it one at a time. I don't live here. But don't discount them. Don't put them aside completely. They can still provide referrals where you can ultimately get them set up on an EFT. They'll constantly work for you if you keep telling them that you'll pay for their quote-unquote package or program. But building into that, it's the members that have more of a with them. They have that lifetime opportunity. They're the ones that consistently go to you, consistently give you referrals now and don't even realize it when people say, oh my gosh, your teeth look amazing. I whiten at Planet Beach, or your tan looks great. They don't even realize that they're giving you referrals now and that they're posting it on Facebook and social media. But something to consider nowadays, now that we're in this age where there are independent salespeople out there selling everything. I mean, I've seen it all, you guys. I've seen people selling jeans. I've seen people selling candles. You guys know what I'm talking about. It started with Tupperware back in the 80s. But now we're moving into this world, this generation where it's like, I want to make extra cash on the side, but not report to a place of business. I hope you're paying attention. This is another really great tip for you. A couple of locations have been trying out getting almost as if it were similar, but not the same. It's almost like outside salespeople, but it's not. For those people that we mentioned earlier that you have to overcome the objection of finances, they're a student, they don't even have a job, but they really want to use these services, and they're borrowing money from mom and dad or whoever just to come in and get these occasional spray tans or whatever they're in there coming in to use. Use this as an opportunity whenever you come across people like that to say, here's the thing, here's what we want to offer you. And talking about the same type of conversation and going the same way with that conversation, what you could do with people like that, and I hope you take advantage of this, is say, well, we do have members out there that sort of, they're bringing us members. What they're doing is going out, bringing people in and getting people to come and join us. And what they're getting in return is they're a member. They're a member with us. They're able to use this unlimited, just like a gold and titanium member can, only it's not reciprocal. It's just with your store unless you have 2 stores or 3. But they're utilizing our services as much as they want. It's as if they were paying members, and they're using everything, and they get discounted, retail them with, if they exceed by 2 or 3. I don't know, set the bar for what the minimum needs to be in order for them to get that free membership. But what you're doing there is you're sort of sending out spa consultants out in the field that don't clock in, that you pay no payroll for, that you'll give them a membership for just bringing people in. And the cost to let them use those services is much less than it costs to have somebody on staff clocked in and out and prospecting. So keep that in mind. And as you come across people, these red appointments or referrals that you might be getting that physically cannot pay for this membership, maybe they don't have bank accounts. I mean, I've seen it before. There are some people that don't have credit cards or checking accounts. They just do cash. I mean, you get people like that. Don't think that that's just a loss and that is an effect to your show rate, closing percentage negatively. That could be a huge attribute to bringing in more members for you and have them not have to come in, clock in. They're not held to any standard of a consultant. So keep that in mind. That's a good opportunity for you guys to take advantage of out there in the field if you're short-staffed or you are only one person per shift type of spot. Member referrals should take up to 50% of your new members. Easy to say, right? But it takes hard work and follow-up and follow-through to make it happen. Again, if you live by the door, you die by the door. If you wait for someone to walk into your spa for the phone to ring, some advertisement that you're running, you might be waiting in the unemployment line next. You must make people walk into the spa. You must make the phone call instead of waiting for the phone to ring. You must have scheduled appointments for the spa consultants each day. Now, this is the ratio, guys, I said at the beginning of this training. Remember, for every 12 red appointments that you book, of the 12, the expectation here is 6 will show up. And 12 showing up, look, I'm having a dance party in my office for you, and I'll video it and I'll even post it on your Facebook page for you. I will do that. I make that promise. And that is my bet. If anybody wants to take me up on that, I am more than willing to take that offer. I have no fear. I will do that. But of those 6 people, 2 to 3 of them will join if you have that staff in place, of course. So that's why the ratio is in place the way that it is. Because think if you had 3 new members a day where your draft would be right now. You guys would be making an insane amount of money. Everybody would be happy, and everybody would be posting dancing videos in their offices and their spas. So work smarter, guys, not harder. Referrals is working smarter. You've taken a lot of the legwork off of your consultants. You're taking a lot of that stress, a lot of that anxiety off your staff, and you're making their work environment a happy and a more productive place to work where they look forward to showing up every day instead of dreading it. That's how you lose people in the first place. Perfectly good talent. 3 kinds of people in the world. One that make things happen, one that watch things happen, and one that says, how the heck did that just happen? Which one are you? It's a good question to ask yourself. It's sad, but important management tip here. So managers and franchisees, I hope you're paying attention. The average salesperson does not believe that people are the key to every door in selling. They say it's all about who you know, with realizing that most people are knowable if you just take the time to contact them. The key to making more money is to see more people, talk to your members, and get people on the phone. So it's not the ambassador program. It's not the internal marketing and prospecting processes and procedures. It's not the enter to win campaigns. It's not what you're giving them. Heck, it's not even the value. It's not the products and services. It's the people. Sometimes, and many of you on this call will attest to this, you get members that are so loyal that there are times they come there, sit down, talk about their day, miss their appointment, and go, well, you know what, I'm not going to do anything today because I've just been talking. I have to go make dinner. I'll just come back tomorrow. And they're paying you $59, $69, $79, $89, some of you $109 a month to do that. I'm more than happy to be your friend. You can come in and talk to me about your husband all day. You want a water? You know, your throat might get dry while you're talking so much to me. That's fine. So keep that in mind. It's the people. Sometimes these people will close and become members, and these these members are going to go out there and go, just go there because you're going to love the staff there. They're so amazing. They're so helpful. You ask them what you need to do. They're so knowledgeable. They'll give you what you need. And the people over there are just so amazing. 9 times out of 10 people are buying because of that consultant, not really because they saw any type of results from one time using the services, you know. And in the event that they didn't get a chance or opportunity to build the value up of the actual membership and you didn't close the member based on value, at least you won them over because you have such awesome and amazing personalities. The 3-step cycle of growth. Remember this. Write this down. Take a picture of it and repeat it every single day of your life because you're Eagles. The first step, not only to getting them in the door and getting them to show up, your first step after that is sign them up. Sign them up on something. Get them to commit to you for 12 or 24 months recurring on that Easy Pay program. Second step, you got to get them results and give them customer service. Getting them set up with the right retail products with those services. Guys, don't set up a member that's going to use red light and not get them the PB Renew. You're setting them up to fail, and they'll quit you, and they'll say that stuff doesn't work. Making sure that you get the right retail sales in there brings you revenue, makes them stay longer, they see results, and you're giving them the best experience every time they walk into those doors. Once you get them there and you rope them in, guess what? How easy it's going to be the second you hit step 3, getting their referrals. Getting their referrals by going through all of those approaches we just discussed. Selling is retention. Because they're going to say, oh yeah, you can pay for my membership. That's awesome because I'm about to cut my hours at work and I'm about to go back to school. That's going to be a great opportunity. Here's my Facebook password. Log in and just start messaging people. Guys, that happened to me before. I've really done this. It's true. You can do that too. It's just a matter of how you approach that conversation. But what happens after step 3? Back to step 1, because those referrals that you're getting from them, you need to sign them up and do the same process over and over and over again. Now, this is going to conclude our basic training on internal prospecting and marketing. If you have existing questions or if you want additional training on this and more intense and more detailed training, just email us at spaperformance@plantabeach.com, because if you are in a regional developer territory or, whichever one of us is your consultants, we'll see that and we'll be sure to copy all the right people on it and set up a specific time to go through this. But I want to leave you with some more nuggets before you go. Before you leave, some of the different things that is important to remember is Ambassador Program is going to be the number 1 referral. That is the referral program, marketing internally, your 4 walls. You don't have to leave for that. If it's raining outside, I'm going to hit up every member calling to book an appointment. Every member that's booked to come in already, I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to know that. And as an accountability person, as the manager or the franchisee, I'm going to say, this is a requirement, and I'm going to check that tracking log to see if you're actually doing it, if you've checked that off. If they say that they can't, then say, why not? Find out what it is and provide solutions for them. So do that. Here's another way you can internally prospect and promote. If you're looking for some place to start off and you're looking to get ideas from this call, this is what I'm about to do for you. Everybody calling in like we just mentioned, booking appointments. Hey, I see we have services available at the same time. Not who do you want to bring in? Not do you want to bring in? But how many and what are their names and numbers so I can actually reserve the time. I need to create the profile to be able to reserve the time in my software, in my appointment book. So I need their name and their phone number in order to save that profile. So how many people and who do you want to bring in with you? Every single time, I don't care if they say you ask me that every time and the answer is no. Look, that's a process and a protocol to them. You're doing your job, so just keep it going. I guarantee you're going to bring in more red appointments that way. And by asking how many would you like to bring in, because I see I have 2 to 3 services, you're not limiting them, and in their mind they see they can bring more than one. So if they are in fact working in an office with other people, they're not restricted to just bringing one, and you won't have that situation happen where they're like, oh, I could have brought like the 2 other girls that were there, I just didn't know. So keep that in mind. That's a great way to start things off that you can do immediately after hanging up and ending this webinar. Start that now if you're in the spa. Birthday parties. Who's having a birthday in the month of November or December? A really great thing I took from Covington when they came, Louisiana 75, that's a top spa. They're number 4, I believe, in the company right now, or 2, I'm sorry. Another thing that they do is every month they see whose birthdays are happening in the upcoming month. They're reaching out to them and offering them the opportunity to have a birthday party in the spa after hours on a weekend, on a Saturday, or after hours on a Friday night if they close at 7. And they're saying we can accommodate up to, what's your square footage? How many service rooms do you have? Let's just throw out the number 8 because I don't know your specific situation. We can accommodate you and 8 people for your party. We'll provide a cake. Cake meaning go to the grocery store, get one of those cakes that you can get from the bakery for a couple bucks that just say happy birthday. Say you'll provide the cake and spend that little bit of money. If you want to throw balloons around there, confetti, whatever, all you need to do is just bring whatever you want to eat or drink, and you can have a birthday party here. Now, here's how that's a red appointment opportunity. We'll actually also send out the invitations and the evites. So in order for me to do that, what I'll do is put you in your case, you put them in the lead tracking log and one of the follow-up sheets for you to follow through with every single day, because they're not going to throw out the names and numbers of everybody they want at their party at that moment when you call them or when they come in. So think about 8 people. I'll follow up with you in a few days. So we'll send out the invitation, send out the evites. We'll do all the legwork for you. All we'll need is their names and their information to do so. At least an email address, because guess what? Even if they don't give you phone numbers, an evite requires an email address. So you'll at least have that to be able to contact. And guess what? That's 8 red appointments, you guys. 8 red appointments to get people in the door at one time, and you potentially have the opportunity to get 8 new members after hours when you're not even open. So that's a great internal marketing opportunity right there. Another one is Enter to Win. The number one spot in the company for the year so far is one of the biggest advocates of Enter to Win. Does $1,000 grand prize drawing for people who enter in referrals, giving them enough time, of course. You could do cash or do some type of cruise voucher or do like we said before, be creative, make it have a lot of value, but putting something on there that says for every additional name, number, and email address you provide, you get another entry to win, or for every 2 or for every 3, make it challenging the more value it is. Or if it's $1,000, I'd make it a little bit more challenging for them and give you more names and numbers. So entering to win is huge. Whenever you have internal marketing is also tied into B2B marketing, business to business, which we'll have a training on in a couple of weeks. But business to business and corporate accounts, that can be internal marketing too. That doesn't have to be external, because if you task someone, I'm a manager, it's storming outside today, nobody's set to come in, I'm panicking because my franchisee will literally kill me if I don't have 12 red appointments booked, because guess what? The weather, not their problem. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to call my staff member who's opening, because I don't go until close, and I'm going to say, listen, the people who are coming in, don't talk about personal ambassador today. I want you to change it up on them. Ask them where they work and tell them that you've selected their place of work or you selected them to find out where they work, to be able to select their place of work as the business of the week. Make them feel special about it. So ask everybody coming in today that's set to come in, hey, where do you work? Because we pulled you as our member to find out where your employment is. We're going to have your business as the business of the week, which means we're going to offer to do a spa party for everybody in your office. Congratulations. So who's the point person? Who's the contact person that I can get a hold of? And that's a B2B/corporate account opportunity right there to drive in more guest traffic and book more at appointments. Then if nobody's set to come in, the alternative, be proactive. Pull the reports. If they don't have access to do it, then you do it for them and email it to them. Pull the reports of all of your existing members by type. Active EFT members by type is in the reports category of members. And say, start calling. Hey, wanted to call you. Congrats. We chose you, randomly selected you. Where do you work? Because we are going to offer your point person the opportunity to get everybody at your place of work a spa party, or a free week of spa services if you don't want to do spa parties because you can't accommodate them. Be creative. Free gift if you want to do free gift giveaways too. So you could be proactive, and that's all internal, and you don't have to pay for prospecting hours, man hours. You don't have to pay to have somebody out in the field while you have somebody clocked in, basically just eating up your payroll, and they're not covering their costs. So it's a very, very easy and effective way to do that internally, and I don't have to leave the spa. And it's free, guys. I mean, minus the fact that they might have to use your phone and you're paying a phone bill, but it's free. So that's another idea that you guys can start doing internally. But the first thing that I will tell you is all of the preliminary things that you did receive from this training. Please, 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 before you take any steps moving forward on any internal marketing and prospecting, it will not be successful, and you could potentially hurt yourself in the future when you try to get these internal referrals and prospecting, different names and numbers, because of the staff situation now. It's going to be 6 to 7 times harder to come at them later with new staff. No, I heard this already before from the other girl. Not interested, thanks, but please stop soliciting. You could hurt yourself if you try to do this now with the wrong or not trained staff. So be sure you go back, get the accountability protocol manual downloaded and printed up. Get the daily prospecting checklist, which, again, if you put that in their daily routine to just follow and make sure that no checkbox goes unchecked, the chips are gonna fall where they may. If they're doing this, even if it is just a task item to them, knowing I'm gonna get written up if I don't do this every single day and follow this checklist, the worst that can happen is they're doing those things and bringing reds. So at that point, putting this system into place and using the accountability protocol to follow up and make sure they're using it, that's the most important thing you can do at this point. Then go from there and move into all of the different ideas of internal promoting and prospecting. So there's your tips, there's your ideas. Again, if you want additional training, contact us, spaperformance@planetbeach.com, and be on the lookout for this recorded webinar to be posted to the Facebook group and to the Orion company announcements page. And as always, you guys, don't forget to be awesome. You guys have a great rest of your week and happy hump day. Bye.